This is Eddie Cologne, EC Details, and welcome back. I'm going to be starting a new series on my channel called Debunking the Tier List. We have seen a lot of tier lists come up, and they rank their detail sprays, soaps, rinse lists, etc., companies, things of that nature. This is not new. In the fragrance industry, there is tier lists galore. I'm talking about my top 5 from the House of Argos, my top 5 from this and that. I'm going to rank this S tier, B tier, whatever. It's been around for a long time, and I find these lists for both fun, entertaining, and informative, right? So I was going through this tier list, and just a note here, this is my opinion, just like it's their opinion. And I was like, would I have ranked this like he did? And no, I'm talking about Pan's video. Pan and I are real good friends. He's my boy. We actually love the same things. Fragrances, I love, he loves. I think we're on a race to see who could collect the most before we see each other again. He loves sneakers, I love sneakers. He loves watches, I watch watches. You know what I'm talking about? Pan and I are boys. We're boys. And if you get to know Pan outside of the industry, you get to know that he's very methodical. He doesn't just say stuff to say stuff. He's a thinker. He writes it down. He asks the proper questions. I've seen him here in this space ask wild questions. I was like, I didn't even think about that. So now I'm thinking, okay, now I got to see if I would rank what he ranked the same way. Let me play this clip.
Again, as an overall package, this is definitely the definition of what a great twig detailer should be. And for that reason, Titan gets S tier, right? Slickness, all that good stuff. Like the majority of the DIY detail products, is very hard to go wrong. But I think this is going to be one of their hot sellers in my opinion. So for that reason, for Envie, new product in their line, so far with my limited testing, I would give this an A tier for sure.
See that clip of Pan going over the detail spray. Now let's talk about detail sprays specifically. What are they for? What would you use it for? And why do you need it? So detail sprays for me, remember, this is my opinion, my thoughts. Detail spray for me is one of those final touches, touch up, gloss, slickness, drying aid, doesn't streak, doesn't last 4 years, very slick, gives the car that lift. It's kind of like putting lotion on your hand, right? You do that so you don't get ashy elbows. I see detail sprays as an arsenal for after the wash, in between the wash, and taking off, you know, minor things on the car that you feel like shouldn't be there. So 2 detail sprays specifically that he ranked, 1 S tier, 1 A tier. Now remember, those are the S tier, A tier. I mean, how really, what is the variance, right? What is the difference? Is this one, Envie, from DIY Detail. Now, Envie from DIY Detail, I'll play this clip here. I took a nut shot for it. This product, when Jamie and I tested it, we cut it, we used it. We actually used it inappropriately. Ivan doesn't preach the ways we use it, but it was super slick, easy to wipe on, super hydrophobic. Man, gloss was nuts. This is an up and up from their old ceramic gloss. I think Envie it's bananas. And just all I'm gonna say, you could cut it 1-to-1. Ivan doesn't teach that, but I have it here 1-to-1. I can use it as a rinse aid. I mean, it's a great product. It smells good, easy to use, 0 streak. We use it on a Mac car. We use it on PPF. Doesn't care, it works. And then we have another product where he ranked God. He called it God tier, and this is Titan from Phoenix LD. Now Titan's been around for a while. Titan is one of those, I would say one of Aaron's best products that he makes. That and Apex would be one of his best products that he makes online. Smells good, cleans good. It's a great detail spray. Is it as slick as Envie? We're gonna test that. Does it gloss? Is it more hydrophobic than Envie? We're gonna test that. For me, I saw those 2 and I was wondering, what do you think, Eddie? So this is the purpose of that video. I'm gonna do my own test to see how I would rank these 2 and which one for me is true S tier, which was A tier. So here's what we're gonna do for test. Number 1, let's go over price. Price is subjective. You make more money than me, I might make more money than you. So when you go out to eat, you probably go out to eat for a $9 steak. I go out and get potatoes and make eggs and potatoes at home, right? I'm broke. So, but when you think of the price of a detail spray, you have to think about, what does that price get you? None of these consider themselves dilutable. They don't say it on the actual back of the bottle. It's ready to use formula, things of that nature. Titan is the same ordeal. It doesn't say you could cut it 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, etc. It is made RTU. So price for Envie right now, I think they did a price drop. I'm gonna put it right here. And then price for Titan right here. So price, I think, Titan slights Envie a little bit, but you have to consider too that Envie was new, has new technology, is using new raws, things of that nature. But we'll see. We're going to test it with two Mr. Twisters, blue for Titan, of course, and green for Envie. And how we're going to do this test is we're going to do a test on cleaning up water spots. We're going to do a test on hydrophobics. We're going to do a test on slickness. We're going to do a test on what I think is good. And at the end of all this, I want to give you what I think is S tier, and I want to give you what I think is A tier. Now, again, when we're testing this, it's my thoughts and opinions, just like it's Pan's thoughts and his opinions. I just thought this would be a good way to test. So let's get started. Test number one is, how do they interact with glass? Does it smear? How hard is it? So I have Titan here. I'm gonna do 2 sprays like I would. I am not gonna do anything. And I'm gonna see how the flash off is on glass. And we're gonna test hydrophobics in a second. Slickness is great. So that slickness on glass, beautiful, easy, smells real good. I mean, Titan is a tremendous product. We'll be here, and we're gonna test it on this glass. I'm gonna do three sprays like that. And I'm gonna come in, and the goal is, does it streak? How slick is it? Now this is slightly slicker than Titan, just by a little bit. When I'm touching the screen, they're both slick, but this slicker on glass. All right, so we're considering slickness from the perspective of this. I'm gonna have to give this one to Envie. Envie for me, slightly slicker on glass. Going back after 10 minutes, it's still like the slickness went up by like 5%. So I'm gonna give slickness test on glass to Envie. Now let's test it on cleaning glass that's dirty. None of these say they can be, but remember, you want a detail spray that can clean. You want a detail spray that can remove slight dirt, things of that nature, in case you're in between. And we're gonna test it on the back glass to see which one actually gives me a better cleaning experience. Let's go. Split the glass in half. I'm gonna do half with Titan, half with Envie. Again, we're just seeing, does it do what it's supposed to do in terms of cleaning the surface when it's dirty? Look, that is wonderful. That's actually beautiful. Cleaned it, 0 issues. The glass looks spick and span. Now let's go on the other side and let's compare it. All right, so now we're gonna do, and you can see the dirt that this took off from Titan. Now we have this from Envie, and literally, it was, dude, I'm gonna lie, Titan was nuts. Same thing, and I'm gonna come in, and the goal is, does it clean? Does it clean it? Does it leave any residue behind? Come in, grab that, 0 problem. Both clean, dirty glass. All right, so we did 2 tests, superficial. These are superficial tests, right? But for me, when I'm thinking about detail spray, I want them to clean, touch up spots, like we always talk about. This is what you would do a detail spray for. Let me show you the towel here. This is Envie. And Envie, you can see it did clean the dirty glass. It did not streak, did not leave anything behind. It actually cleaned it real good. Flash off was beautiful. You see Titans did the same ordeal. So Titan was dirty, it cleaned, did not leave any streaks, did its job. So from this test that we did, the first 2 is slickness on glass. Again, I have to give it to Envie. Cleaning on both, tie. Smell, I like Titan slightly more, but Envie does have that nice watermelon smell that's not overpowering. So those of you who are sensitive to smells, or you feel like, well, smells, to me, I hate a detail spray that smells so much, I hate it, then Envie is gonna be your thing. It's a slight watermelon, melon kind of flavor of that. Now we're gonna do the hydrophobic test. I am gonna do the glass to show you which one's more hydrophobic, and then you decide from you. This is the glass that we did Titan on. And you can see the water behavior is pretty good. It's more of a sheeter beater. It does have nice beads. It's not the nicest I've seen, but it's great. It does sheet water, it does pull. We're just testing hydrophobics on the glass, and you can see that Envie has way tighter beading, more water behavior that you would expect from, or that people want nowadays, right? It looks like a little bit of Kafaba, and you can see from there the beading. Again, I'll show you here, and you can see how it's sheeting, not beading as good as this. So water behavior test on glass, I'm gonna give it to Envie. This car has 0 protection, but I did do a decon bath for the front of the hood. I'll show you those hydrophobics here. And you can see how that hood is just pooling water. It's sheeting because there's nowhere to go, and the water is sticking on the panel. I'm gonna dry that off. Also cut it in half, and we'll do a test on both. On the hood, so I have the panel, you can see it's wet. I'm gonna take Titan, put it all over, and I'm gonna dry it with a drying blanket. And Slickness is great. It's not the best I felt, it's good. And the goal here is to see what type of hydrophobics I get. And this towel is not clogged, so I'm not sure why it's smearing like that. But for the sake of the test, we'll just say the humidity here is high. So that is Titan. We're gonna now test the hydrophobics on it based on a drying aid. And you can see it did beat it a lot more. It's sheeting water way fast. It's beating like that. And I'll bring you in so you can see it. You can see the beating here from that. So it's got nice beads. It's not the tightest I've seen for a drying aid. So I'm gonna dry this again and I'm gonna apply Titan on here without water to see if I get more of a beading effect. So I am gonna apply it dry to see if I get any more, if I get better hydrophobics. And what I'm noticing is the dry application is a lot slicker than the actual water application where you're using the drying aid. The gloss is very beautiful, it's very red. Slickness, it does not smear when you over apply either. And I love the scent. All right, make sure it's dry. Again, Slickness, it's pretty slick on the panel. Now let's test the hydrophobics of a dry application. Detail spray should be hydrophobic right away. You don't want any dwell time or worry about cure time, things of that nature. And it's good. Like I said, it's not the tightest, but it's great. It's everything you would want from a detail spray. Take the hood, super hydrophobic. I would be happy with that if I had no protection. So it did give me more beading on a dry application than it wet. So far, I'm gonna give that a pass. All right, so I'm gonna show you the hydrophobics on this. It's the same idea, it's flooding. You can see it pulling water. And then I'm just going to spray it, and I'm gonna do a rinse off to see how that would work. And you can see right away, as a rinse aid, the beading is slightly better. Let's see if it's slick. Yep, Slickness is nice. Slickness is about 10% more than Titan. Yeah. Now I'm gonna do a dry application, and then we're gonna do that here. I used a new towel for both, so if you see the color changes because I didn't want to introduce the grime and the dirt. And I'm gonna see if it's gonna reject itself, how it dries, etc. And you can just see the application on this is pretty easy. No streaks, and if you see any streaks, it's because of humidity here. That's all I'm saying. It is pretty hot and humid. All right, so I applied it. I'm gonna do the hydrophobic test now, so you can see it applied. And look at that, and those beads are nuts. Those beads are like Hotable level. Yeah, those beads are crazy. Now I'm gonna dry again. And the Slickness is on a different planet. Okay, Slickness on that is insane. I can't begin to tell you how much difference it is. I'm gonna show you again the hydrophobics. So you can see that. And you have to play the video back to get a better understanding what the other side looked like. There you go. I'm gonna apply as a drying aid to see if it gets weird on me. I'm gonna over apply. And I'm gonna be harder on DIY for a few reasons. I don't want anyone to say, well, you didn't really do the tests right, or you used it different. No problem in drying. You saw the dry on that? Look, that's crazy, man. That's absolutely insane. And we finished. Now, I did test this as I would use a detail spray. I didn't do chemical resistance. I didn't do washing it 100 times. To me, it's invalid. It's a detailer. It's a detail spray. I wanted to use it as anybody would, or I use it in my business as a detail spray. When I use detail sprays, I use it for drying aid, glass, touch-ups, cleaning dirt that I missed. I use it as maybe I use it as a topper. So I wanted to see hydrophobics. I wanted slickness, and I wanted ease of use. And clearly we saw where they both excelled at. They both excelled without smearing. They both excelled at cleaning. But for me, Envie, even overusing, applying, Envie was the clear winner of this test. It did everything just slightly better. It was slicker. The hydrophobics reminded me of that of Kataba. I even over applied it on the panel. I used this one more because I didn't want anyone to be like, well, he's swinging the test, right? So I over applied. It does not streak, does not leave a substantial amount of protection, probably 2 or 3 weeks. But also I wanted to say that Titan's not bad. To me, it's just the roles are reversed. I would put this in A tier and I would put Envie as S tier if I was doing my own list based on the tests I did. I think Envie, for the price, for the smell, for the performance, is a tremendous product. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you want to see next. I found this test pretty fun. I found it like I would use it. And hit the like, hit the subscribe. Appreciate everyone subscribing, and we'll see you next time, and we're out.